What's up, y'all? It's Maverick, and I'm back late as hell to do this review a day before the new episode of Kandi and the Gang airs. But let me tell y'all something. Elden Ring, if for all of my gamers out there, Elden Ring has been kicking my ass. Like, I've been playing it a lot this week, but I've been able to come to y'all and do it today. Rough as hell, as y'all can see. Definitely getting a haircut next week, but y'all know what I look like when I'm smooth, so. But Elden Ring's been kicking my ass. I got to a point where it's like I don't want to do nothing other than play Elden Ring. But now I'm starting to progress through the game, and I can like not spend so much time grinding and actually do the shit I'm supposed to do, which is iron out these reviews. Because I'm gonna iron out this one today, and then I'm gonna iron out the one for y'all tomorrow after I watch the new episode. But this episode, it was pretty good. Like I said, like I said last week, this episode was really just creative production by way of Kandi and Todd. He's like, we need something to do, so let's come up with a team building exercise, which really was just something for them to do for a 40-minute episode, because it wasn't really much going on amongst the cast, for real. It was all about this episode, and this episode, it was all right. Now, what I am going to say about, I'm going to open this video up about Dom and Brandon. Dom and Brandon are so dumb, and it's like, not only are they dumb, they're like grown dumb. Like, how are y'all in y'all 30s? I think Dom is in her early 30s, and I think they both like early 30s, like 32, somewhere in there. How y'all that grown and y'all are this stupid? Like, y'all really doing this workplace relationship? Because I guess Brandon was like, well, I'm not really concerned about the consequences or the repercussions of having a work relationship. And even then, it's like, you should go into most places of business, like, especially when you're a fucking manager. Dating, now it's different if y'all both entry level employees, but when you're an entry level and you're dating somebody, or a manager's dating somebody entry level, that is frowned upon because of what is it, favoritism, be that as it may. As we've seen already, when she came in 2 hours late and he didn't even say nothing to her, he didn't pull out of office, he didn't even act like he was saying some shit to her. He just let her come on in and just get to work. Not only did she come into work, she complained when she got there. So now that we see, what is that? Y'all know how I be so fixated on the stuff that's wrong with me. But anyway, so they're so stupid. Like y'all could at least act like y'all was gonna keep things low key, and they didn't. They was just all out in the open with it. Like, anytime they get together, and they always do this amongst other cast members, they're like, yeah, your pussy was tasting good last night. Oh, I love the way you was deep throat my dick. And they be doing all that stuff in front of people while trying to act like they ain't messing around. It's like, y'all can't even y'all can't even try to convince us that y'all not dating. And then it's like, as open as they've been, as high key as they've been with they shit, they should just came out and said that they were dating from the very beginning, instead of like being out in the open with everybody else who worked there, but trying to hide it from Kandi and Todd. But even then, not really, because they did it at the exercising event. So I just thought it was so dumb. They getting together, Dom all at his house, like, oh, we together. It's we together. It's we together. It's you my man. It's you my man. What you gonna do when I go out of town? All this kind of stuff. And I don't even feel like he gave the right answers with that shit. But I ain't gonna spend too much time on them hoes. Chandrika and her witch hunt was so fucking stupid, because at the end of the day, Chandrika, they got you for saying it. So whoever let the bell ring is irrelevant because you said it. So her trying to ask everybody else who worked there was just fucking stupid. What was funny when she brought it to Patrick, and Patrick was like, I ain't no rat. And they literally, I swear, Bravo don't play no games, because they literally, in that next clip, brought up him snitching to Todd and Kandi. Maybe he don't look at it as snitching because that's his family, but it's like, you definitely did snitch. You took a conversation that was amongst coworkers and you brought it to management. That is snitching. And as a result, they kind of confronted Chandrika about it at that staff meeting. And then furthermore, damn, I just lost my train of thought. Damn, but her going to confront two dudes, Melvin and Patrick, that was over something she said was dumb. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to say something, stand on it. If you can't stand on it, don't say it. don't be running your mouth. And the thing about Chandrika was like, you can tell she run her mouth so much that she don't know who the fuck she's didn't ran her mouth to or what she ran her mouth about. So she definitely needs to get that shit in line, because she's sitting there asking like who told on her instead of asking herself, damn, who did I say that to? That would have been a great place to start, instead of just asking everybody at a restaurant who told on you, because as we seen, nobody even told on her. They just had her ass on camera. And Brandon and that fucking camera. Going, you can tell like they must got a fucking hidden camera. They got that shit closed up or something. I don't know how they got it in there, but he didn't went in there and he had phone conversations on speakerphone with that camera in there. He been going up in there to fuck Dom in there. Like, not like, how does he not, as a manager, how do you not know what the cameras are in the building? Like, damn, you that sorry? I'm pretty sure Philip ass whenever he know that camera in there, he would never do no dirt in that goddamn in that in that office. Like, what the fuck? Or maybe because I don't think I've ever worked anywhere, and I've only worked at 4 places in the 8 years that I have been working. I don't think there has been a camera in any of those offices. So maybe he just assumed that there wouldn't be. Maybe in his work experience, he's never seen that either. But I guess Todd and Kandi, like, we are in the hood just in case somebody decide to break up in this bitch and they decide to go in the office and try to take money or whatever the case may be. We know who the fuck they are. We got the date, the time of when they did it. Whatever. But Chandrika going on that witch hunt, that was stupid. Brian and his soul rolls, I really didn't care about none of that. I mean, I think it's great that he doing soul rolls. I actually want to try one. And I had never even heard of that until this show, so that definitely sounded like some, like if that was something at a black restaurant that I went that I was going to, they had a soul roll, I would want to try that out. And the way he was making it look delicious too. So shout out to Brian for that, but I didn't care about none of that. Trying to make sure I get everything. Oh, in the beginning. So Philip had a meet. Well, it wasn't a meeting. They had like a little lunch with Kandi, Todd. Kandi, Todd. Let me just talk about Todd really quick, because like Kandi and Mama Joyce has said, he like to do these businesses and shit. And he just like, look, this is a business. I expect people to run it the way I want it to be ran. And he don't even know how to fuck. He doesn't know the logistics of how the fuck things go in these said businesses. Like like you said, he don't know how to work the register. He don't know how to fucking serve drinks. He don't know how to make drinks. He don't know anything that goes in. He don't know the ins and outs of the restaurant business that he owns. But he expects everything to just run swimmingly just because it's up. That's not how it works at all. And when Mama Joyce said she can't stay, I'm like, damn. They got married, what, almost, I think it was 6 years ago? 6 years ago, and she's still not fucking with him. Before it was like he didn't have no money. Now I guess over the years he's been making some money. And she like now, it's not like she just making things up not to get along with him. But it's like, here's another thing for her not to like his ass. And that's his damn fault, because like she said, this is your restaurant. If you spent time in the kitchen, you will see how things are done in the kitchen, how things are supposed to go in the kitchen. But you have absolutely no idea how they work in the kitchen. So you don't even know what the fuck is supposed to be going on in the kitchen or what occurs in the kitchen. But you got so much mouth about the kitchen. That was a very valid point. But anyway, they had the meeting. They brought Philip in, and Philip was pretty much saying that he felt that Brian needed to be terminated because Brian popped off. And even then, he wasn't even too correct with that assessment, because when he sat up there and told Brian that he didn't have free speech because of, I guess, expressing himself in that meeting that they had when they were meeting with him, like, it's just like he just says all the wrong things. He says all this shit that'll make somebody say fuck it and just knock him the fuck out. Because at the end of the day, Philip, this is a restaurant job. Chandrika says she makes $12 an hour as a host. There's plenty of, like they said, Family Dollar starts people at 17. People can just quit and say, fuck this, go try to find somebody else to work this position at last minute. Like, he's acting like this is a fucking high-paying job that where people would fucking break their legs or fucking die before they show up late to this job. Like, I don't understand his attitude when it comes to this restaurant, because like, yeah, everybody should have a level of decorum and ethics and integrity and professionalism. But at the end of the day, if I'm working at McDonald's making $7.50 an hour, like, I'm not really going to care, because there's so many other jobs that pay the same amount of money if I really need one. And then these days, people can just do Instacart. They can do OnlyFans. They can do Patreon. They can do what is that other shit? DoorDash, all these markets these mini markets right now to make money. People ain't got to be fucking putting up with your bullshit at a old lady gang. And even again, people have said they don't really like working there because it's such a fucking mess. But be that as it may, he felt as though Brian should have been terminated because of that back and forth. But Kandi wasn't feeling that way, and like she said to him, she was like, you have this attitude where, like, if somebody's not working the way that you want them to work, you're just trying to let everybody go. And that's not how you run a business. And I guess that's why he's never owned his own restaurant and tried to open it up, because he wouldn't know what the fuck it was. He wouldn't even have a restaurant with that attitude. Like, everybody's not going to be a robot like your ass. So you can't have that expectation. What you need to do is be respectful and inspire people to perform for you at the level that you want them to perform for you. Crazy how he's 38 and he doesn't understand that process, but I digress. Then that's when they had the idea for the whole team building exercise, and then that was the majority of the rest of the episode was the team building exercise. And one thing I had noticed, I'm like, man, Shardo is really irrelevant on this show. Like, excuse me, I don't know what made them pick him as a cast member, but he doesn't bring anything to this show. When I was watching Kandi speak on it, Torin himself has said, the personalities are so big. Maybe it was her. Said the personalities are so big that he just get lost. Yeah, he definitely gets lost. I'm like, he don't need to come back for he doesn't need to be on this show for season 2. Obviously, he may still work at the restaurant, but they need to swap him out and swap somebody else in with a little bit more personality, because I've seen some more interesting people at the like they could swap another one of those girls in. They can swap another straight guy in, because right now the proportion from gay to straight guys on the show is definitely in favor of the gay guys. They can swap another straight dude in. They can do something, but Shardo is born. Maybe he's gonna turn up in the next 4-5 episodes. But right now, I don't see it. The exercise, the 10 little activities they had was cool. I really don't care to talk about it because, like, it just was what it was. Kandi's team and Ty's team, they tied. People felt like Philip was finally loosening up, and it's about time. Like, if you could have just been loosened when you came into the the restaurant, they wouldn't have never had as many issues as they had, because he was pretty much at the center of all their issues. He was at the center of every single one. So yeah, y'all, they lost, even though they had Melvin's big ass, and Kandi said Melvin was fucking irate that they lost because they didn't understand. But one thing that they did, they waited for them to fall, and then that's when they all started pulling. So I guess if any of y'all ever played tug of war, that's a great strategy to have. I love Aunt Nora and Mama Joyce when they were sitting up there talking about how not Mama Joyce, Aunt Bertha and Aunt Nora, when they was talking about how Patrick, like, he gained some weight. And I looked at them, I'm like, yeah, that's what anybody says it about you. If your butt's getting big, everybody's like, oh, he look like he gained weight, but they don't never want to say his butt got big. They just say he just gained weight altogether. Because if you look at Philip's stomach, Patrick's stomach, his stomach isn't big, but his butt was. So that's what people do. Anytime they notice that your butt is getting big, oh, you gained some weight. But if you say that's so broad, you would think all of you gain weight, and that's not necessarily true for everybody. Sometimes one area of you has gained weight, and people would make that statement. But yeah, I don't have much for the Brian came, and I guess he was a good old boy. So at the meeting, they decided to let him keep his job. But I'm like, of course he's not going anywhere, because you can tell that Brian is going to be the draw of this show. You can tell he's going to be a huge focal point, if not the nucleus of the show, because of his personality. And then around him, you have Torin, Chandrika, Dominique. But he, as far as entertainment, he is going to be in the center, because he is the most entertaining person on the show. And he has, like, the biggest story out of everybody, what he was going through with substance abuse and all that kind of stuff. But he participated. They let him have his job, and that's really it, y'all. In 44 minutes, nothing really happened. Like, I think it's gonna be some drama next episode with this whole Brandon Dominique thing. I'm like, and she asked him in the preview, "Are you dumping me?" Like, y'all are just too old and too grown to be this stupid. Like, y'all was acting like 21-year-olds. Like, at a McDonald's, where he was the manager and she was the fucking bitch at the window. Like, that's how they was acting. Like, And they was making comments at the goddamn whatchamacallit in front of Chandrika, in front of Brian, as if they don't have ears. It's like, man, I don't know how you could be that damn sloppy with something that you know, even if you haven't worked before, you've seen TVs, you've seen movies that managers are not supposed to date the employees. And they did it, and they were definitely sloppy and dumb about it. I didn't get it, but that's all I got for this one. And I'll be reviewing the episode tomorrow. Cause I get it. Yeah, I'll review it tomorrow. It'll be up. It'll be up tomorrow because I don't have cable, so I gotta wait till it hits the internet. And then if I gotta wait longer, cause I bought the season on YouTube, I gotta wait for YouTube to get it, so I can't watch it like at what 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then have the video up by 9. It doesn't work that way, so I'll be a little delayed. But I'm gonna try not to be as delayed as I was this week because, like I said, Elden Ring was kicking my ass. And I got home. All I wanted to do was play Elden Ring, but now I'm kind of out of that. I got to where I wanted in the game. I got what I wanted in the game. So right now I'm just chilling. So I can go back to my regularly scheduled program. But like I said, I will see y'all again tomorrow. Y'all are getting 2 videos in a week. I mean, I was supposed to do Snowfall, but that ain't something that be having me just ready to review. But I guess I can do next week's episode, which might be the finale. And I seen like the ending of this coming because Freeway Rick Ross, who Franklin Saint is based off of, goes to jail eventually. So I feel like next season, I don't feel like Louis, I don't feel like any of that main set is going to die. I feel like more people around them may die. Maybe his mom, maybe Veronique, I don't know. But she's not really in that main set. I don't think any of them is going to die. I feel like everybody's going to get arrested and go to jail. Louis might die. I don't know. Jerome might die. He might die for Louis. I don't know. But this season so far has kind of been all over the place. I feel like they introduced Kane way too late into the show. This whole Peaches thing where like we don't know what the fuck he is. I mean, it was coming together when like he stole all that money and he disappeared, and then he was at that clinic because okay, he's sick with something, and then he was at the heroin house. So I'm like, oh, so he got HIV from sharing needles. But I'm like, did anybody else in there have HIV? And I'm guessing he needed all that money to pay for his medical bills because I guess back in the day you gonna need some money for that shit. So but I wonder if they're gonna kill him if they know that he has the disease. But we'll see. But it's just dragging out because if I'm not mistaken, they only do 10 episodes a season for Snowfall. So this is like episode 9. He's been missing since like 5 or 6. So it's just been dragging. You can tell the show has went into a different direction, but I still find it entertaining, just not entertaining enough to review every week. But that's my opinions on this episode of Kandi and the Gang and Snowfall. I will see y'all tomorrow.